In other news, this Thursday afternoon, the fate of U.S. Army Sergeant Daniel Perry is now in the hands of a jury here in Austin. Closing arguments wrapped up this afternoon. Now the jury will decide if Perry will be found guilty of murdering Garrett Foster during a protest in downtown Austin back in 2020. Perry says he shot Foster in self-defense. KVUE's Isabella Basco has been following this trial since the beginning. She joins us now live from the Travis County Courthouse with more. Isabella?
Well, Brian, Judge Brown kicked off today saying it's been a very difficult case, highly charged and highly emotional. Perry being charged with 2 counts, murder and aggravated deadly assault. Perry has pled not guilty. Today, both sides taking 90 minutes each to present their closing arguments. The state kicked things off. Prosecutor Elizabeth Lawson showed a roadmap for analyzing whether or not the shooting was self-defense. Lawson says Perry had to know the protesters were in downtown Austin that night in 2020. She also asked, what was Perry's intent when he drove toward the crowd? She showed clues from his social media accounts, memes like running over protesters and also being afraid of being attacked by people of this certain movement who compare his people to termites. Another post mentioning he might go to Dallas to shoot protesters. The state arguing he could have kept driving and he didn't have to stop his car and engage with the protesters.
This is not a good shoot. Daniel Perry was not legally justified in using deadly force against Garrett Foster when he did. And even in Texas, this isn't a good shoot. And we're going to ask you to consider that as you deliberate.
Next up was defense attorney Clint Broden. He mentioned we'll never know the angle of Foster's rifle no matter how long we study those photos. As for Perry's social media posts, Broden argues they were posted at least a month before the shooting happened. Broden asking the jury to put themselves in Perry's position with protesters surrounding the car.
He knows 0.2 of a second to make sure that he could go home to his family that night. And if we're honest with ourselves, we would not just sit there and pray.
Device readily convertible to that use.
And now that closing arguments were made, the case is now in the jury's hands. Now it's been about 4 hours since those deliberations began, and now we just sit and wait for a verdict. Brian and Ashley.